The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the human delegation entered. Ella walked with measured steps, her boots echoing against the crystalline floor, while Albert followed close behind, carrying a metallic case that seemed to hum with ancient energy. "Impossible," hissed Council Prime Thexaron, his multiple eyes widening in disbelief. "Humans achieved space travel merely 2 centuries ago. Your species has no records of earlier contact." Elle smiled, a knowing expression that made several council members shift uncomfortably in their bio-seats. "That's what we let you believe," she said softly. "The truth is far more complicated." She nodded to Albert, who placed the case on the central podium. With a soft click, it opened, revealing a holographic projector of obvious alien design, yet covered in unmistakably human fingerprints, aged and worn by millennia. 10,000 years ago, Elle began, her voice carrying across the vast chamber. "Humanity was not the primitive species you discovered 200 years ago. We were different. We were more." The hologram flickered to life, showing Earth as it had been in 8000 BCE. But this Earth was not the simple agricultural civilization known to human history books. Cities of impossible geometry dotted the landscape, and ships, clearly spacecraft, descended from the stars. "The predecessor civilization," whispered Councillor Vexnum. "The legends speak of them. The first walkers who seeded the galaxy with faster-than-light technology before vanishing without trace." "We didn't vanish," Albert interjected, his voice firm. "We chose to step back." The hologram shifted, showing a younger version of Ellie, impossibly the same face, standing before an alien delegation 10 millennia past. She wore robes of shimmering material that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. "I was there," Elle said, watching her ancient self. "I was humanity's first ambassador to the stars, and I've lived every day since, watching, waiting, remembering." The council erupted in chaos. Accusations of trickery, demands for proof, roars of outrage in a dozen alien languages. Elle simply waited, her ageless eyes patient. Council Prime Thexaron raised a primary appendage for silence. "Explain," he commanded. "If this is true, why hide? Why regress? The predecessors possessed technology that makes our current civilization look like children playing with blocks." "Because we learned a terrible truth," Albert answered, advancing the hologram. It now showed vast fleets, weapons that could crack planets, civilizations burning across the galaxy. "Power without wisdom leads only to destruction. We had reached the stars, but we had not yet learned to reach within ourselves." Elle's expression grew somber. "We were young, arrogant, and dangerous. In our first century of galactic expansion, we nearly triggered 3 wars. Our technology advanced faster than our philosophy, our weapons faster than our wisdom. We were becoming the very thing we would later fear, a species too powerful for its own maturity." The hologram showed the great human debate, massive assemblies where millions gathered. Ella's younger self stood before them, arguing passionately. "I proposed the Great Regression," Elle continued. "It was heresy to many. We would deliberately destroy our own technology, erase our records, and start again. We would give ourselves time, millennia if needed, to develop emotionally, philosophically, spiritually, to become worthy of the power we possessed." "Madness," breathed Councillor Zixtara. "To voluntarily abandon the stars?" "Wisdom," Albert countered. "We scattered our technology across the galaxy as gifts for others to find. Your FTL drives? Human design. Your medical nanites? Human invention. Your universal translators? We created them all, then left them for others to discover when they were ready. We kept only the Watchers," Elle said. "A handful of us extended through temporal stasis and advanced medical technology to observe and ensure the experiment succeeded. I've lived these 10,000 years in intervals, waking once per century to check humanity's progress." The hologram showed human civilization rising and falling through the ages. Ancient Sumer, Egypt, Rome, the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, each era monitored by hidden observers. "We watched ourselves forget," Ella's voice cracked slightly. "Watched our own species struggle with the most basic questions of existence. There were times I wanted to intervene, to reveal the truth. The wars, the suffering, the slow crawl back toward the stars, it was agony to witness. But necessary," Albert added. "Each struggle taught us something. We learned empathy through hardship, wisdom through failure, unity through diversity. The humanity that returned to space 200 years ago was fundamentally different from the one that left it 10 millennia past." Council Prime Thexarin leaned forward. And now? Why reveal this truth now? L deactivated the hologram, meeting his gaze steadily. Because the test is complete. Modern humanity has proven itself in ways our ancient civilization never did. You've watched us for 2 centuries. Have we triggered wars? Enslaved others? Exploited our advantages? The council remained silent. It was true. Despite possessing nuclear weapons when they achieved spaceflight, despite having every opportunity for aggression, humanity had consistently chosen cooperation over conflict. We have walked among you as equals, not conquerors. L continued. We shared our knowledge freely, asked for nothing in return, and sought understanding before expansion. The humanity that exists today has earned what our ancestors possessed but did not deserve. She touched the case, and a dozen data crystals emerged. These contain the full archives of human achievement from our first civilization. Technologies beyond your current understanding, yes, but also philosophies, warnings, and histories. We offer them freely, with one request. What request? Asked Thexarin. Remember our story, Albert said. Remember that power and wisdom must grow together. We sacrificed 10,000 years of advancement to learn this lesson. Let our experience guide the galaxy, so no other species need make the same sacrifice. Elle smiled, and for a moment the weight of 10 millennia seemed to lift from her shoulders. Humanity is ready to truly join the galactic community, not as the mysterious newcomers you met 2 centuries ago, but as the elder siblings returning home. We have finally become worthy of our own legacy. The council sat in stunned silence, processing revelations that rewrote galactic history. Finally, Council Prime Thexarin stood, his gesture one of profound respect in his culture. Welcome home, he said simply. Elder siblings of the galaxy, the predecessors returned. Welcome home. Elle felt tears on her cheeks, the first she had allowed herself in millennia. The long wait was over. Humanity had finally passed its greatest test. No,